We have this partnership with Shenandoah National Park, and we take them camping for a week to further our mission of getting youth exposed to the outdoors. When we say exposing them to the outdoors, that's conservation, service learning, education, and recreation. After learning about the CCC boys and how Shenandoah National Park became in existence, one of the youth asked was, well, I didn't see anyone of color, like were there any black CCC boys in Shenandoah? And the answer is no.
These are the guys that would have lived right here. So imagine the CCC boys, or imagine if you were there, if you were a CCC girl, if you were there at this time in the 1930s.
When the park was created, although it wasn't supposed to be segregated, it was still segregated.
Part of the park that's for blacks only, there used to be a mound along Skyline Drive so that the whites who were driving along Skyline Drive didn't have to see anyone.
All of these things have an influence on the way our youth think about parks.
I know that there's people a lot, including my family, that are just like, oh, we don't need to do that because it's a white people thing. But honestly, we're missing out on a great, beautiful place.
So it's like if your peoples don't raise you to paintball, then you're not going to go paintball. So your peoples won't raise you to go to national parks, and you won't go to national parks because you rarely know about them. So I mean, if people of color want to come more to national parks, then let them come, but we can't force them to come to national parks.
The youth in our program who are African American, who comes from the city, who parents never took them camping, who've never been through the trails in DC because they don't go in the woods. Like, I am hoping to restore our existence in the park.
I'll be able to prove that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the parks, and everyone is welcome. Everyone is truly welcome without any second thought or hesitation.
My thorn was definitely seeing the Confederate flag and how it made people feel. But I felt most uncomfortable because I had like a little moment where I broke down and said something that I never wanted to say, and said something that I didn't want to be. So I basically, said something like, be quiet and don't say anything because I can't handle another black boy dying. And it's just weird because, I don't want y'all to be quiet, and I don't want y'all to, be someone you're not, just to be safe.
And this moment that took maybe less than a minute for them to drive past was an indicator of, are we really welcome here? Are we really welcome here?
After they left, I was just staring up the whole time like, oh my God, they're really doing this.
I was kind of confused because I thought that flag got banned.
Did they go to sleep that night? Did they dream about what if something happened as if it did 50 years ago? Is something going to happen to my campsite?
I just didn't want them to come near us because I know we was like probably the only black people in the park. I just thought about a lot of stories then, like Jordan Davis and like people that died, like black kids or black people. So I was just like, I didn't want them to come near us.
We learned yesterday about why our park's so white, and that's a reason why. You can't even go a whole week without seeing something racist.
And other people may want and desire for African American youth or for any kid of color to believe that it is okay to be out here in the park. But when you still have people who are not okay with the idea of sharing these places, it's almost like, well, do we take steps back and reevaluate the situation? But instead of thinking like that, our youth, our green team members, they told us something different, like, we're gonna stay here.
Would that discourage you ever from coming back to Shenandoah?
No, No, that's just like if a bear came near us. I wouldn't want the bear to come near me. I didn't want to make it a big deal. Even though it was like a baby big deal, I didn't want to make it a big deal. I was just like, it's not gonna ruin our time in the park, because we had like 3 more days.
If they can't come to understanding that all people are equal and that no one should be treated a different way because of who they are, then that's their loss.
After, I was just like, they're so ignorant. And that's all I kept thinking. I was just like, they're so ignorant. And I was just like, I'm just not gonna let that ruin my trip.
And so as mad as I want to be about this flag, I was excited that this experience or this exposure has taught me how strong and bold all of my youth are.
I'm good. I feel wonderful. They can go on their life. I'm going on my life. That's all I know. So I'm gonna just drop it there.
As at risk as people may believe that these kids are, they are our future, and if they are our future, I am happy for the future, because they are amazing young people.